Hi, can everyone hear me? Kindly confirm you can hear me, please.
Hi, Clara. I can hear you. Good afternoon.
All right, thank you. That's in a minute. Apologies for the delay. All right, just get started now. Once again, sincere apologies for the delay. We'll just get right into it. So, good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Tech Talk Live. My name is Clara Chupu, and I am the corporate lead at TJ Holdings Group. And as usual, I'm delighted to be your host for today. As you already know, or maybe for those that are just joining us, Tech Talk Live is a monthly event hosted by HH Holdings Group in collaboration with Tech Economy. And over here, we have honest, practical conversations about business, technology, entrepreneurship, and life in general. Anything that will help you become better. You can get that on the Tech Talk Live show. So today we are basically going to be focusing on everything that a business owner needs in this era. Like I say, something that almost every small business owner needs in this era, and that is social media marketing. The world has gone digital, and well, most times we say social media is like the new oil money and all of that. But we are going to know today, we are basically going to understand how to grow our visibility, attract the right customers, make sales online, all with the help of social media. And with me today, I have someone that I'd say is like the perfect fit for this topic. Our guest today is a business consultant, a project manager, someone that has like over 6 years experience, like a very vast experience across, project management, digital media, consulting, and the rest of them. He has worked across various industries, such as fintech, edtech, real estate, blockchain, helping African businesses and startups secure strategic partnership for growth and impact. And also, his work has been captured in Yahoo Finance, TechCrunch, and the rest of them. He has an agency which is Grant Masters HQ, and through this agency, he has supported organizations like Uber, Xenox Group, Sterling Banks, My Job Africa, and many more, helping them get grants, opportunities, and build sustainable growth. He's someone that is very passionate about empowering founders and professionals, and he leverages his knowledge of communications and technology to make enterprise development more inclusive and impactful. This is a very, very powerful profile right here. So please join me as I welcome our guest speaker for today, Imo Anslem. I hope I got that right. Hi, Anslem.
Hi, I think you're going for the easy one, which is my
Oh,
grandfather's. But yeah, put it right.
okay.
Yeah, nice
All
to
right.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. But okay, so aside, what I've said, the brief introduction that I've given, we also want to know, a bit about you. If there's something I missed while speaking, because I mean, from your profile, it's very clear that you're a very, very experienced person with like a vast knowledge. So we want to know more about you. Just give us a brief introduction about yourself. We'll get right into it.
All right. Thank you once again, Clara. Thank you to HH Holdings Group, and thank you to Tech Economy for the platform. It's always a privilege to be able to shine the light on what would help businesses and business owners, especially the early stage, to thrive and grow. So when you were reading the profile, I think I was like, I'm not sure I'm the person you're talking about. But yes, you covered quite well. I would just simply like to say I love to help, I love to support people. That has been part of my life. I would say credit to my mom from my beginning, my teenage age, where I used to volunteer a lot in a lot of medical outreach programs in partnership with the federal government and all of that. So that's where the character was born in me, and I don't think there's anything different from who I am that has not been captured in the profile. So I'm not the star of today. It is the attendees and the business owners. They are the real superstars, not me.
Oh, that's really great to know. Thank you so much again for taking out the time to join us. I mean, he was a very busy person, but taking out the time to join us today also shows how much you care about this topic. And like you said, the business owners who are the stars of today. So we'll just get right into it. From our topic today, we want to know what would you say, or what would you say is your definition of social media marketing?
Interesting. So first of all, marketing. Let's be set aside marketing, and so that we don't make it boring and too academic. Marketing is basically the activities that you will do, whether you own a business or a product or service. It is the activities you will do in trying to gain attention, because attention is the first foundation for any sale, right? You have the AIDA principle, that's the AIDA, attention, interest, desire, and then action, which is the sale. So marketing is basically generating interest and attention about your product or service or who you are as a person. And then if you bring social media into that context, that means social media marketing is the activities you do to generate interest, generate attention, generate desire, and also enable people to take action on social media. So simply, that's what social media marketing is. It is marketing that is done on social media.
All right. Thank you so much for that very brief but interesting definition. So, I mean, we just broke it down. Social media marketing. Our topic for today is social media marketing hacks for small businesses. So
Yeah.
now you've said social media marketing is marketing on social media. But what are there like specific hacks when it comes to marketing on social media that you'd want to share with business owners?
Yes. So of course, you know that social media is really where everyone is trying to gain attention, trying to sell. Influencers, big brands are trying to gain attention. So one of the things I have seen really work for business owners and for people I've consulted for, and what I try to guide them on, is storytelling, right? When you get on social media, there's a lot of noise. There's a lot of noise, and you're trying to, maybe, should I go this way? Should I go that way? Should I do it this way? Right. And so what has worked for people, and what I have led my clients to do, is originality. And that originality can be seen in your storytelling. Because say, for example, just for an example, you sell beads in Akure, right? Just for example, and then your beads are locally sourced material. You should be proud of that, right? But then, because of how flashy social media can be, or how packaged it can be, you can now, instead of like maybe aligning your business to the roots of where you came from, or where it is being produced from, or whatever, you now try to posture as maybe an influencer in the US, or maybe a big beats or skincare owner in Canada and all of that. And then by so doing, you lose the originality of who you are. You lose your own unique touch. And so one of the hack, beyond tools, beyond software, beyond processes and systems, is really starts with us as human beings. It is, first of all, the mindset, being proud of who you are, being proud of the business you're doing, knowing that you are not just in business to put food on your table, but you're actually solving a problem. So before you even start saying, oh, how do I start social media? It has to be like a mental reframing for business owners who don't already have that mindset. It has to be a mental reframing of saying or believing that what you sell is actually valuable and that what you do actually solves a problem in the lives of people. And you can, maybe someone can argue that, oh, if I sell beats, what problem does that solve? It gives people confidence, right? I don't sell beats, but I know people who wear beats. It gives them confidence. And if you want to even go back to that originality factor, in African tradition, beats was something that was used to, I think, help manage weight and check weight and all of that. So maybe when a beat gets bust, you know that, oh, you're going beyond your weight bandwidth or whatever. So that originality, first of all, has to be there in a business trying to have a social media presence. The originality, which is also what fits into your storytelling, because say, for example, you have accepted the originality, any content you're going to make, you see, why do you think for most products you see made in China? Like, why didn't they just say made by Jinping or whoever made that product? Why do they tie? Because they're trying to brand, they're trying to tell you that the product where they made this, right? And that is something that I believe most business owners haven't yet really accepted, because again, when you're operating from a third world country, there's a lot of imposter syndrome and self-esteem issues coming up. So you see that no matter how someone attains success financially with their business, there is still some self-esteem traits or lack of trust traits coming up. And I hate to bring up this example, but I think I saw a trend where a weak seller actually did not refund for something like that. And if you want to check the ladder she is on, this is a big business, right? Why can't you refund a week of 100K or something like that, right? So you would say that, oh, this person has made so much success, but you can see that some mindset is still holding them back because they've not yet implemented customer-centric processes into their business. And so that's something that I want business owners to work with from this call, with knowing that beyond achieving success on social media, it starts from you, the individual, the business owner, the entrepreneur, the solopreneur. It has to do with your mindset. If you believe that you are valuable, if you believe that what you're selling or what you're offering is valuable, social media is just going to be a tool to leverage on that value. So that's the first hack. The first hack is mental, is a mindset hack. Yes.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I mean, the originality is something that I feel like the mistake that a lot of people make on social media. But let's even take it a step back before we get to like, originality and all of that. When it comes to social media marketing, do you think that there are some platforms that you should prioritize, or is it okay to just be on every platform?
Now, definitely you should prioritize, because I don't think there is any I don't think there's any business, not any business, but at least at the early stages, I don't think there's any business or there's any reason for someone who is selling beats to be on LinkedIn, for example, right? It's just not the platform for you at the early stages. Because I know if I say don't be there, some people can take it out of context, but we're talking about the context of small business owners, the early stages, the foundational stages. At the early stage, if you're on LinkedIn, you're stretching yourself too far and thin, right? You're stretching yourself too far apart. So there are platforms to prioritize, and it always comes down to understanding your business and your business model, which is where originality comes in, right? Before you even launch out a business, you would have had people that, I mean, before you launch out social media, you are happy what you have spoken to, and you know what they like. And so a lot of the mistakes we make as business owners is that we don't listen to customer feedback, or we don't take it seriously, right? Because if we do, you would know where people want to see your product, right? And I'm not saying take customer feedback hook, line, and sinker, but if you actually listen to customer feedback and prioritize it, you would, of course, you can guess the platforms you should be in. So let's make it practical. Let's do service and product, right? For anyone that is in business here, you're either selling a service or you're selling a product. Now, if you're selling a tangible product like hairs, bags, wigs, and all of that, you want to prioritize visual platforms. Visual meaning that people are able to see your product, not able to see your product, but like that particular platform is visual heavy, right? You have social media that are text heavy, you have social media that are photo heavy, and you have others that are visual heavy. Visual is still part of photo, but I will get to the point. Now, if you are selling a product, you should not be on a text-heavy platform at the early stages. Text-heavy platforms are, for example, Twitter and LinkedIn, right, or Threads. Now, visual-heavy platforms are Facebook. They've incorporated a lot of those features after acquiring Instagram. Visual-heavy platforms are your Instagram, your TikTok, and now your Facebook, right? Pinterest and Snapchat. So you want to prioritize visual-heavy platform if you are selling a product, a physical product. If you're selling a digital product, you can be uh, on non-visual platforms, right? Because you don't really need to like put out pictures or videos of your stuff. Your product is not tangible, right? Because it is not a physical product, right? And then if you are selling a service that is not tangible, you want to prioritize text-heavy platform, because how people get to know about your product is by you talking about it, typing, writing about it, content, and all of that. But then if you're doing if you're doing services, you want to still do both, but at the early stages, what you want to prioritize is what I explained as the text-heavy platforms, which is LinkedIn and also Twitter. Secondly, as I summarize, you should also look at where your customers are, right? Because sometimes there are nuances to this. We might say, oh, you are a physical product, but then we realize that your customers are mostly on maybe Twitter Nigeria or maybe Twitter design community and all of that. You don't have to just be tied to the rule of, oh, I'm a physical product, so I should be on Instagram. No, you have to go to where your customers are. You have to be where they are. So if your market research shows you that your customers are on Twitter, that is where you should be. That's where you should be posting content. That's where you should be engaging, commenting, connecting with people, because people don't buy from brands, they buy from people. And so one mistake I see people, business owners make, is the thing that the activities that generate sales or convert sales is all the outbound activities. All those things help you generate interest, but what makes someone take action on your product or service are three things. It's called the KLT factor, and I'll slow down. There are three things. The KLT factor, which is know, like, and trust. For anyone doing business with you, if you've ever spoken to them, right, you would realize that these three things, either three of them are present, or one of them is present, or two of them are present for what made them buy from you. You can ask someone, oh, Shegun, why did you buy from that week from me? I just like you. I just like you, right? It's part of the L in the KLT factor. Oh, Monday, why did you buy this product from me? Oh, it's because I know you. Because I know you now, you're my guy, you're my babe. You see, they know you. And then the third factor, which is the ladder that most businesses always try to attain, which is trust, because you can't depend on knowing and like to scale a business. It's trust. That is where you come on social media, try to put your face to your content, try to put the brand, the humans behind the content, because you're trying to build trust, trying to show people that, I'm not a scam, I'm a real human being. And if you buy hair from me, I will deliver. So that's the T factor, which is the trust. And so being on the platforms that are right for your business and that you know that your customers are, you would, of course, that's the platform that you should prioritize. Now, for a business owner who is saying, but I don't know, all these things you're saying, I don't know what market research is, I can't even use ChatGPT. The simplest market research to do is, who are the businesses that are doing what you're doing? Okay, you say, oh, I sell drinks. These people that sell drinks, they are on Twitter, they are on Instagram. That's where you should be on, because they have already done the hard work for you. So you just rise by copying them. I'll end with that.
Nice, nice. I like the last part. I think that is a hack that everybody should take note of. Like, somebody has done the hard work for you. So if you don't know where to start from, just copy what the other person has done, and then yeah, go take it from there. But I mean, you mentioned something about, being on this platform and creating content. There are a couple of small business owners who particularly have issues with creating content because they believe that you need to have a team, you need to have like a budget, you need to have this and that.
Yeah.
What advice or what do you have to say to people that are thinking in that way, are saying, oh, I mean, the reason I don't do social media is because I don't have the time to create content, or I don't have a team to work with, or something like that?
Well, yes, this is still part of line we started with, which is the mindset, right? I saw someone, this is funny that you asked me this. I saw someone on my WhatsApp make a post about this. He owns a leadership academy slash consulting firm. And so just let's do smaller mebo because of course we're mostly Nigerians here. So he just got married and all of that, and of course busy planning the marriage, wedding, and all of that. Fast forward to yesterday, he made a post about the fact that sometimes, not sometimes, most times we allow planning to get in the way of action. And so what he was basically saying was that when he didn't have an iPhone, he was saying when he has an iPhone, he's going to start shooting content. That he's not shooting content because he doesn't have an iPhone. And so now he has 3 iPhones, he's not shooting content. And then the excuse now is there's no lights, the aesthetics, the background is not nice and everything. Oh, he doesn't have someone to edit. That now he has someone to edit it. The excuse is now, I don't have proper lighting, I don't have background, aesthetics and everything. And he went as far as saying that even when he does get that thing, he may not still do it because you were not faithful in the little, right? And so my challenge in answering that question to business owners is start with what you have, right? And I speak to myself as well because my career in tech started with social media management, and there were a lot of pages that time on Instagram, I think 2019, 2020, where they don't have as great content as you, but there are, what's the word I could use now? They don't have shame. That's it. Like you will see them maybe posting content and then they want to put their, let's say the brand name. They don't put it at the top part of the design or in a proper place. You just put it scattered and all of that. Sometimes they'll just take a WhatsApp screenshot and then they'll just slap their at Clara Chiku and put it anywhere. And then you're like, this is so bad, this is so off and everything. But I'm getting engagement because at the end of the day, people that is a nice to have, like proper branding, proper design, videos, and all that is nice to have. But then it is not critical. And in business, you always have to box your decisions into 2 brackets, which is critical and nice to have. Critical is more like is a need, like it's almost like oxygen. Nice to have is more like, oh, maybe I can have this, I may not have this. But critical is what makes your business either die or literally live. Like I said, it's like oxygen. And so you want to make decisions based off of critical and nice to have. For business owners, if you do not have a team, right, there's so many tools right now that are available, and is like I believe when people say that there is no easier time to start a business than right now. I'm not saying conditions are perfect, of course. The economy is economy, right? But tools are toolsing. Technology is technology right now, right? There are a lot of options for you, and the simplest option for design and video making is Canva, right? Canva held a product update event. I think that should be 3 months ago, and they released so many features that are supposed to help business owners in creating content. And Canva Premium is not expensive. I think it's about 2.5 per month. So with Canva Premium, you have a lot of pre-made content. That simply means templates that people have already designed, that have already done the hard work. Again, we're talking about things to make it easy for business owners because they're quite busy and they're building at the early stages. So you have templates that people have already made. And if you're saying, oh, I am using Canva, but I can't access some template, just upgrade to Canva Premium. I just mentioned it. It's not expensive, right? Because you're in business to make money and you have to use money to make money. So upgrade to Canva Premium, you have unrestricted access to a lot of pre-made content, quality content at that. So that already saves you time in trying to find original content and trying to be creative. If your excuse is I'm not creative, there's an answer for that. If your excuse is I don't have time, there's an answer for that. You can automate this post. Most platforms now have automation feature wherein that you can schedule these posts, right? So I can actually sit today on my laptop and make a post that would be that will be posted by 1st of January next year. I don't have to be there to make that post. So that's a hack that business owners can leverage, automating posts, because at the early stages you're doing it alone or with just 1 person or 2 persons, right? So content automation, using free platforms or near to free platforms like Canva, CapCut to create your content, and using templates to save time. There are really great resources to help you with your visual content if your business is postured to visual heavy platforms.
Thank you so much. But talking about tools, you like mention at least say 3, 5 tools that business owners can take note of from today, and more like a take home to say, okay, aside Canva, I'm also going to try this and try this and try this that can help their businesses.
Yes. So because we also live in the world of AI right now, there is a video slash image creation feature on ChatGPT that a lot of people don't know about. I have used it. I wish I could, maybe if this was more interactive, I would have like done a presentation and all of that. Maybe that can come in the next editions. There's a picture slash video creation a feature on ChatGPT. It is free before you start putting hang on my neck that all these things are done. It is free, right? It is free. Business owners love hearing free. It is free, but they don't sell their products for free. I don't know why. That's aside. But the feature is free. It's called Sora by ChatGPT. Sora, Sora. If you go on your ChatGPT and you go to the feature section, you will see Sora. Now, I have used Sora to create a lot of images, and it's just beautiful because the feature is that smart, right? You can use it to create anything you want to create. I've used it to create a Nigerian Mona Lisa, and it was just funny. And the beautiful thing is that, again, people have already done the hard work for you because there are a lot of creators and contributors whose joy is to just create things, right? They create things, they create images and videos. And so before you even go entering your prompt, you would already see like a library of pre-made videos and content, which you can always edit, right? And so that is one tool that I believe is very important for business owners at the early stages. Sora by ChatGPT has a free image generation and video generation feature. If you create multiple images or you want to extract a video, at some point you will need to upgrade to the paid version. But to use it at the early stages is free. And then another one which has really helped me, especially for people who are in consulting and people who are in like service-based businesses, is still Canva, but it's a new feature by Canva, right? It's the Canva AI. Now with Canva AI, you can again, of course, get pictures, but at a faster rate. So say, for example, you're looking for a particular picture on Canva library, you're not seeing it. You can actually ask the Canva AI, to create something for you. Again, this is still dependent on the quality of your prompts because they say if you ask dumb questions, you get dumb answers. But if you ask smartly, you will get smart answers. And I love to always bring reality to these things. I have used it, so I'm not just speaking from head knowledge. I have used these things. There was a day I wanted to make a post on LinkedIn and I was pressed for time. Actually, two instances. I wanted to make a post and I also had a speaking engagement like this one. I had not worked on my slides and I needed to work on them. So let me slow down. So the first instance was I used Canva AI for the presentation. I had to put in some prompts and then asked to create the presentation for me. And then it created a template of presentation. And the beautiful thing is that it gives me options. It gave me like 5 options, maybe 6. And then I chose one and I used that particular one and it saved me time. Something that would have taken me 5 hours to design manually on Canva, I was able to do it in less than an hour and polish up my content and use it and post it on LinkedIn, right? That's for the content publishing aspect. Now, for the presentation aspect, like maybe you have a meeting and maybe the person you want to talk to, you cannot use your former template or your former contents to really speak to them. Maybe you want to present a slide or whatever. I have used the other one is called Gamma AI, still an AI to Gamma AI. I used it to create a presentation in a very short time, in about 30 minutes. Again, this thing would have taken me about 2 to 3 hours max, or minimum 2 to 3 hours to get done. But then in 30 minutes, I was able to enter the prompt and Gamma AI created a whole slide for me. And that's what I used. I even mentioned it on the call that, hey, this slide I'm presenting right now, because it was about that AI training. I was like, hey, this slide, I just did it 30 minutes ago, literally 30 minutes ago, because I was so pressed for time and I didn't have the time on my calendar to be able to sit down and do that manually. So that's a feature I have used personally as a business owner to also make life easy for me. So we can say ChatGPT, Sora, we've mentioned Canva AI, we've mentioned Gamma AI, and then also Gemini, which is the tool from Google AI. I have used it to also create presentations as well. So those are the tools that I believe business owners should leave this call going to try out and, of course, see how they can increase their capabilities and their efficiency in using these tools, because they would really save your time and sometimes save your life, because yeah, they're really important.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, we're in the AI times, and a lot of, I mean, most of the things that you mentioned are AI, AI, AI. So I
Yes.
think everybody, every business owner should even tap into it. If you don't know how to, you can learn. I mean, there are a lot of ways to learn all of those things online now. YouTube and the rest for is very, very important. So for business owners, small business owners that are wondering, okay, this social media thing that you guys are talking about, how do I even know that I'm making progress? What are there like specific ways to be able to measure success when it comes to social media marketing?
Yes. So thank you for that question. I think we should take this from the angle of because the question you asked is very important. Business owners always want to know if they're getting return on investment on whatever effort they're spending, whether it is monetary effort or time efforts. It is important that you measure what you're doing and the outcome of and the outcomes of what you're doing. So we can approach this from number one, the marketing angle, which is you running adverts on social media, running ads, paid ads, influencer ads, and all of that. And then number two is you running organic content, which is basically what we call content marketing. Content marketing is a simple word. It really means how you make your content more strategic. Of course, having learned what your customers like or what your target audience likes, you prepare content that entertains them, educates them, or informs them. And for all of this, you want to measure what you're doing. So thankfully, almost all social media platforms have analytics tools embedded uh, in the platforms, right? So for Instagram, you have your professional dashboard where you can actually go to see numbers that come into your page. You can see your profile visits. Of course, we had established at the beginning of this call that the first foundation for sales or growth on social media is attention, because it's the same with offline marketing, right? So profile visits actually mean that you're getting attention because people are coming to your profile, coming to check you out. And profile visits is important. I will still bring it up into the other part. So for anyone joining, we had established that there is the four branches to marketing, which is the AIDA principle. AIDA simply means the AIDA: attention, interest, desire, and action. So for a content that you want to measure if you're getting attention, of course, on Instagram, it would be your likes, it will be the reposts, it will be the number of shares, the number of saves people are making on this content. That's a way for you to know if you're generating attention. Now, interest is the profile visit, because I have seen this content and it drove me further to want to go see what you're doing or see what your post or your platform is about. And then I am able to go there. Now, desire is where maybe the content that brought me to your page, it was a funny content. Maybe it was a behind the scenes content. But then all of a sudden you notice that people are going to like or comment on your product content. Your product content means maybe your bags, your shoes, the clothes you're selling, right? Again, let me slow down. The content that maybe brought them to your page was a funny content or an informative content. It wasn't really a salesy content like a product content or stuff like that. But then you're not noticing people either save your product content more or repost your product content more or ask questions, which is they're engaging, right? So you know that this is what brought them there. But then because your content is so great or your page is you're posting certain things, they're able to see what you're about and you have generated interest. Now that's the last the second before the last action, which is the last step, which is action, right? Because for all of these things to make sense, people have to buy, right? And so you engaging them, you conversing with them, you building trust, you answering their questions in a timely fashion, right? You answering their questions in a customer-friendly manner is what generates the sale. So that is for the organic content, right? You have tools on the dashboard, you have tools on LinkedIn, you have analytics on Facebook that help you tell how your posts or content is performing. Now, for the paid content, paid ads, which is either you're running ads on Facebook, Instagram, and all of that, there is still, thankfully, the what we call Meta Ads Manager, right? Meta Ads Manager is a software, is an app that helps you run adverts on social media. So if you're a business owner here and you pay people to run your adverts for you, that's what they are using. They're using a tool by Facebook, by Meta, really, which is for running adverts, right? So it's called the Meta Ads Manager. And in that platform, there are again analytics and data insights that do tell you how your post is performing. Now, for any business owner here who wants to go try, who wants to go start out putting out their content, their ads by themselves, something valuable I want to leave with you is called A/B testing. A/B testing, right? Simple word, A/B testing. A/B testing simply means, say for example, you want to plan a wedding, right? And you don't know which meal you want to give people. You're stuck between jollof rice and fried rice. A/B testing simply means you give some people jollof rice and you give it the same amount the same number of people fried rice, right? And see which one they like better. The one they like better is the one you should cook or spend more money on cooking, right? So A/B testing simply means before you put out a post or before you spend a lot of money running an advert, you put small money on it. So say for example, your marketing budget is 100K. Instead of pouring 100K on your content, the ads, and then complain that it did not make any money or generate any sales for you, instead try 5K on that post. Try 3K on that post, right? Try 2K on two separate posts. The one that performs the most on the same target audience, the same location, the same everything. That's the one you should spend more money promoting. And again, to round up, there are insights, there are data to help tell you how your posts or your advert is performing so that you are able to make data-driven and data-informed decisions in your business.
Thank you so much, Anselm. I feel like any business owner that has joined this show today is definitely living with a lot of knowledge. There's so much. I mean, even me myself that I was not aware of and I've learned today. So thank you so much for pouring into us. Right now, before we round up, and before we have Anselm say some final words to us, we'll be taking questions. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the chat and I will just read them out. So while we're waiting for your questions, Anselm, do you have any final words that you want to say to business owners who have joined us today across like different platforms who are listening in and hoping to get into the whole social media? The reason I say whole social media is because I've heard a lot of small business owners say this social media thing that you people are talking about, they're always reacting that way. So for
Yeah.
people who still have that mindset, for people who are saying, okay, let me even try this thing that you guys are talking about, what final words do you have for them?
I'm a bit sad because I'm like, are we already at the end of this? I was just getting excited and all of
Maybe.
that. So, yes, if there is nothing that if there's nothing that a business owner or someone who has a business owner friend and that wasn't able to attend and wants to, of course, give them value from being here is that start taking action, right? Post that, like you have that screenshot in your gallery since 2 years ago, just post it. You have that customer feedback and you're like, no, this doesn't sound nice. It doesn't sound too, the customer didn't use good English. Just post it. Put, like if I could scream and scream, just post it. And now for the business owner who is like, I've posted, I've not gotten any result. All these things people always saying, post, 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 post. Now, it's a hard truth I want to leave with business owners is three things. At the early stages, no one knows you. And frankly speaking, no one cares about you. No one cares about you because no one knows you. And no one cares about you because no one trusts you, right? Again, you have to still think about that principle of KLT. Is it know, like, trust? K means no, I know you, right? Like, and then trust. People buy from people they know, people they like, and people they trust. And so the reason you're not getting sales is that no one knows you. And for someone to know you, you have to be visible, right? And you're not just being visible, but being visible to the right people. Because if you're selling Pampers and you're being visible to Gen Zs, like they don't care about Pampers, they don't have babies, right? You have to be visible to mothers, to nursing mothers, to people who are just getting married because they have that plans along the way to get to have kids. So you have to be visible to the right people. So I want to say three things to business owners that they can do from today and start seeing results immediately in their business. and it's very practical, right? Which is number one, reach out to more people online, right? Reach out to more people, and I will explain all of this. Reach out to more people. Number two is post more content, like I've already mentioned. Post more content, create content, and post. I made a post yesterday. I was like, create and post. And I had to embolden that post part because we make so much nice content. We spend hours on Canva creating this content, but then we don't post it. It's just there. So create and post, right? Post it. That's number two. Number three is run paid advert. Run paid advert, and don't allow the budget or whatever to scare you, right? If you cannot afford someone to do your marketing for you, it is actually an opportunity for you to learn that. A lot of business owners who you would speak to, either as mentors or some people, they will tell you that a lot of times they had to learn those things at the early stages, because at the early stages, you don't have so much funds to spread around. So you have to actually learn how to do your tax, how to do your insurance. You have to learn how to do your driving. If you're a delivery company, you have to learn how to do a lot of things by yourself. And then when you now grow bigger, you can now outsource or now hire more. So number three is run paid adverts. And I have already given you the secret of how to run them successfully, is to spend little money on these things, which is A/B testing. Then when you see them perform well, you can now invest more money in them or sacrifice more money on them. Going back to the first thing I said, which was reach out more. So as you leave this call to the business owner, if you've been posting content and you have not been getting results, I want to say congratulations, because you have led the face foundation to people knowing you and people trusting you. Now, what you should do is something I have done, which has given me success, is reach out to 50 to 100 people every week on your social media. I'm not talking about people that you've already followed or people that have already followed you or people that you already know. I'm talking about 50 to 100 new persons, and let those messages be you trying to book a meeting with them, or you trying to make them know more about your product. It's not you trying to force them to see your product, trying to force them to talk about your product. It is just making connections. So reach out to 50 to 100 persons. I would have said every day, but that's a stretch. But if you can, do it every week, and you can break it down 20, 20, 20 every day. That makes it 50 if you're doing 5 days. If you want to go 100, that is 20 every day, right? 5 days, that's 100. So reach out to 50 to 100 people every week. And at an average, you would get 4 to 5 meetings or 10 calls out of those messages. They're called cold messaging, either cold messaging or warm messaging, right? Cold messaging is you don't know this person from anywhere, you just enter their DM. Warm messaging is you maybe follow them, you've been trying to engage their content, just trying to build that awareness or that visibility in their eyes, right? And then you now enter their DM when the time is right. So you have people that you've been trying to prop and build over time. Just enter the DM. Don't overthink it. Whether they see you the message and they don't answer, if you send up to 50 messages, the right person is going to answer you. And you don't need 20 people to buy from you. You only need 1 or 2, 5% who buy from you and who buy well and who you build a good relationship with, such that they become a repeat customer that is able to also bring more customers your way. So you don't need numbers. What you need is actually value. You need the right kind of customer, and you are able to do that by messaging new people every single week. So business owners, message 50 to 100% every week and see if you're not able to convert, or at least build some rapport and have meetings that is able to convert to sales with these people.
I must say this is a master class, not just a master class, one that we should be charging like thousands of dollars for. Ansley, what do you say? We could make money from this.
Not at the early stages.
This is really awesome. I mean, you've really poured into us a lot of knowledge and a lot that can help business owners scale and improve their businesses. So thank you so much for sharing not just any kind of strategies, but real and practical strategies that we can use and start applying right away. You've broken everything down into very tiny bits that anybody really can understand. So thank you so much. I'm just going to check if we have any questions at this time. Okay. no questions right now, but thank you so much, Anselm. It was really, really interesting speaking to you about this. And for all business owners, for everyone who has joined us today, I want to say thank you once again for joining the Tech Talk Live show, this edition of Tech Talk Live. And I look forward to have you in the next editions. But I hope that you've picked, even if it's one lesson from this section, from everything that Anselm has said, he has given us real strategies. And I hope that you've been able to pick something that you can, implement in your business and start seeing actual results. Don't be one of those business owners who say, oh, this social media thing, what do you guys even see in it and all of that? Please, please, please pick something from what Anselm has said today and apply it to your business. Thank you so much, Anselm. Really appreciate the fact that you made our time to be here. And we hope that we can have you in our subsequent editions. Thank you so much for joining us today.
I think before we go, we had people in the room. Maybe we want to ask if anyone has a question. Maybe we can bring them on stage, and if they don't, we can close out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think, well, there are no questions in the chat, but if anyone has a question, please, you can go on and speak up. We'll take. Okay. Any questions from anyone, please?
I can see Kelechi, Smart, Maya, Joanne, Oluwatosin. If you have any questions, I will be happy to take them before we close out. Okay.
Don't be shy. If you have any questions, please ask. Okay. I don't think we have any questions, but thank you so much, and Anselm. It's been like really interactive and informative section. I look forward to subsequent. Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you everyone for joining in. It's been a pleasure hosting this edition of Tech Talk Live. And once again, I am your host, Clara Chuku. See you in the next edition. Thank you.